welcome back to the Toal Tribe channel. I'm Laurient.
And I'm Mike.
And this is Josiah. He's been napping in his crib like a big boy. That's something we've been working on this week. I think he's starting to wake up. But so we're probably gonna have to be
We're in trouble.
Quick and strategic about filming this video. I wanted to wait until Mike got home, and he's finally home. If you caught our Q&A video, then you saw the most asked question was the last question of the video, and it got cut off because the file was corrupt and there was visual but no audio, which is so annoying and frustrating. It happens to me all the time. I don't know if it's the camera or the memory card or like what, but it happens way more than it probably should. But anyway, I promised you guys that we would sit down and film a whole video regarding that topic, so we're doing that today. So I feel like when you first get engaged, everybody asks you like when the wedding is, when are you getting married, when you're getting married.
They all want to know next steps.
Then you get married and everybody wants to know when you're having kids, and then like a little while into having kids, everybody wants to know like what your plans are the next time around. And so now that Josiah is like 2 months old, which is literally like nothing, like he's still a teeny tiny peanut, we do still get the question though of, you know, what are our thoughts or plans for baby number 2? Because of course, as a couple that struggles with infertility, family building kind of has to be planned. It's not really something where we can just be like, oh, you know, we'll
whenever
just see.
It happens, it happens.
Whenever it happens, it happens. Or like, you know, I'll just come off birth control and we'll try to get pregnant again. Like, it just doesn't work like that for us.
Waiting a long time.
So, so for us to think about, you know, baby number 2, that it's a thought process, and it's literally creating a plan, which is maybe not the most idealistic way to build a family. I wish that there could be more kind of surprise to it, but like that's just not our journey. So, because I hate the expression, it is what it is. It's funny, I thought that we wouldn't have the conversation about what we were gonna do the second time around for like a long time. Like I figured like that just wouldn't come up. We would be so focused on raising Josiah and just like trying to navigate like first time parenthood that it just would be like furthest thing from our mind. I also figured we'd be like sleep deprived and be like, Lord, please give us time before the second baby. But our parenting journey has been different than I think I kind of anticipated. I kind of had heard so many, you know, I don't want to say horror stories, but like stories from moms about like, you know, how tough it is. And I'm not saying that it's not tough. It is. It has its moments. But honestly, those moments are so far and few in between that for the most part, I look at him and like my own child gives me baby fever. I could just have like 5 more Josiahs.
5.
I'd be so happy.
That's a lot of Josiahs.
So one of the things that we like to do is like have date nights where like over dinner we sit and literally like, you know, dream or plan out like what we'd like our future to look like. We've kind of always done this in our relationship. It gives us something to look forward to when we kind of put like a little plan together. And so, you know, sometimes, you know, when we put Josiah down and we have moments, just the 2 of us, we do talk about that, where, you know, what our future family is going to look like and what we want for ourselves and our family. Right. And so we know we want more kids. We've said on here before that, you know, we hope to have like 4 kids. Has that changed? Do we still hope to have 4 kids?
Feel like we talked about this not long ago. I said we shouldn't even put a number on it. Whatever happens, happens. Whatever we can handle. Is
that your way of saying you only want 2 now?
No. I just feel like as they get older, I'm gonna want another baby.
Oh, so you're thinking we're gonna go beyond the 4?
I don't know.
Potentially.
We'll see.
Don't tell my heart that.
It depends on how life pans out.
I love babies, and I would have so many babies if I could.
What I was trying to say is it depends on how life pans out financially. Right. Obviously, that has the biggest part.
Because it's a little bit different for us. Right. Yes. But I like the idea of that because, you know, throughout our adoption journey, like our whole thing was always like, if God was going to open a door for us, we were just going to walk through it. I like the idea of maybe not saying like we're 4 and done, and like, you know, I still in my heart want at least 4 kids, but like, you know, seeing what life looks like when we get there and seeing if we feel like our family is complete. If it's not, I like the idea that the door isn't closed to adding more children.
Right.
We've talked about baby Toal number 2 and like what that journey looks like for us. There are a few things that we want hopefully to fall in line before we get there.
A bigger house would be one of them.
We need a larger living space. I've mentioned here on the channel before, we have a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhouse. And so it's tight in here. And there are no extra bedrooms or whatever. And obviously for the first several months, the baby sleeps in your room. I mean, really up until the first year if you really wanted to, but you know, it would just be tight, especially with Josiah, you know, being older and having more like things like toys and stuff. It's just not.
You have a lot of things.
Yeah, goals would be that we kind of upgrade our living space, but there's like a catch all to that. We also talked about in our last video how the goal in the future is hopefully for me to be able to stay home with our children. And so there are financial things that need to fall in line in order for us to be able to afford to do that, to live off of one income. The caveat to needing a bigger home is that we want to find something like, well, like beneath our means almost. So something bigger, but not super expensive, which is really, really hard to do. We live in New Jersey, it's pricey here. Real estate is ridiculously pricey here. So we'll potentially be looking at, you know, like mild fixer-uppers and things like that we can work on slowly.
I'll be 90 years old saying, we can finally put in that pool. That was good.
I'm crying.
Oh man.
That was a partial, your real laugh.
It was.
Oh my god. I can't, I'm crying. Stop laughing so I can stop laughing. I don't know why I thought that was so funny. Was it that funny?
It was pretty funny.
Who knows what the real estate market will look like when we're ready to buy. Like, who knows? Things might take a dip. We might be able to get everything that we're looking for the price that we're looking for, or we might have to look at like a fixer-upper situation where we can kind of slowly upgrade things as time goes on. We have no idea, so I'm not gonna like fret about it now. Right now, our game plan for getting a bigger house is looking like the next, what, year and a half?
I would love to do a year, and I'm gonna still see if we can do that.
I'm being more realistic, and I'm gonna say a year and a half. That is the goal. That is our hopes and dreams. Somebody's waking up. That is our hopes and dreams, is for that to happen in the next year and a half.
Yeah.
And then I would say like once we move in and we're like settled, we would be open to starting the journey for baby number 2. We talked a lot about what that journey looks like to our second child, whether we were gonna adopt again or what we were gonna do. So in spending time with Josiah in the hospital, in the maternity ward, I had a feeling that I hadn't really previously felt before. And that was a desire to be one of those women on that floor that delivered a baby, which I didn't know before was really a desire that I had. It doesn't matter to me at all if none of our children are biologically related to the two of us. Like, that doesn't matter to me, like, in the slightest. I have no desire to necessarily have a biological child. I think you do. Or you did when we started this.
It would be nice.
Right.
But if it can't happen, then it can't happen.
Yeah, and I think it would, I mean, like, obviously the idea of having a person in this world who's half me and half the person I love the most is like,
that's ideal.
That's the craziest, coolest thing. But it's not a requirement for me in life, but I do think that I would regret if I didn't at least try to conceive and carry and deliver a child, even just once. Let's take a quick time out because the third player entered the game.
That's right.
He woke up from his nap and was hangry, right, bud?
He was pretty
so
hungry.
hangry. You look so cute. Because of that desire to try to conceive and carry, and the fact that like I'm not getting any younger, we figured that for baby Toal number 2, we would make the trip back to the infertility clinic, a different infertility clinic, and try a new doctor and see if we could get a new diagnosis. I just think that there's more to the story that we don't know. I don't think that they thoroughly tested us enough. And so that's our hopes anyway. It doesn't mean that we are gonna get, you know, any kind of definitive answer for the infertility or anything like that. We could still get, you know, hit with unexplained infertility. But at this point in my life, I feel like I'm actually ready to at least try infertility treatment. So it would be nice to know, you know, what that doctor recommends, what, you know, they think the best course of action is for us, and what the percentages are. And truthfully, like, if we find out that our likelihood of conceiving with IVF and our own embryos is low, we probably wouldn't even try, because again, it's not such a requirement to like have biological children so much as it is I just want to experience being pregnant. And we've talked about this before, you and I think we've mentioned it on the channel before, but like, we're totally open to embryo adoption.
Yeah,
I would be so fine with doing that. And who knows, even if we don't do it this round, it might be something we consider in the future. Like, we're really open to so many different ways of growing our family. It isn't just like a black and white thing for us. Anyway, our children join our family will be a blessing, and we look forward to taking those journeys. So that's the plan right now. But you know, as you guys know, you plan and God laughs. So you know, you never know. Things could absolutely change. The other part of the question that we were asked though was, would we consider adoption again? And we absolutely would consider adoption again. And I'm almost 100% positive that at some point in our life we will do another adoption. It's just going to be a matter of, you know, what kind and when, you know, whether we do domestic infant again, if we try to head out internationally, if we do a private adoption of an older child or a foster to adopt situation. Like, we have no idea what the future holds for us. We haven't thought that far down the road about it, but we definitely know that there is another adoption in our family's future for sure. As far as the timeline for baby Toal number 2, I mean, like we said, we want to get a bigger house, or we really need to get a bigger house. There's just no room. And we'd probably need to get settled and then, you know, save up some money, because, you know, infertility treatment is not cheap, and neither is adoption. So regardless of what path we end up taking, it's gonna cost us some moolah. So we have to get that ready to go. And, you know, and then God only knows how long the process is going to take. But I think we'll probably start journeying down that path in probably the next 2 years or so. And hopefully it doesn't take long. I mean, we've always said, like, we wanted our kids to be kind of close in age. We're both the youngest of 2 kids. I have an older brother who's 5 years older than me, and your brother's how much older than you?
4 years.
4 years. And so, like, that doesn't seem like a lot, but like, it kind of is. When you have an older sibling who's like 5 years older than you, they become like another parent almost. My brother was like a parent.
Mine wasn't.
I didn't like really, yeah, like once he was a certain age, it wasn't like I had like a fun friend anymore. It was like I had a parent who was like, don't do that, don't do that. My best friend growing up was like a middle child of 4, and they were all very close in age, and I loved it at her house. I felt like the 5th kid, and I would just spend all day there hanging out with her and her siblings, and they were like extra friends, and it was just always such a good time. And I always said that I loved that and wanted like the same kind of upbringing for like my own children. I want them to be close in age. I want them to be friends. And so I hope it doesn't take us too long, because by the time we start thinking about, you know, baby Toal number 2 and like taking action on it, Josiah will likely be 2 years old. And so I hope it doesn't take too long, because I don't want there to be a 4-year gap, but we'll see, right? We'll see. But at the same time, like, I want Josiah to have enough time to be, you know, the only child and to be with us. But when the time comes to start walking down that path, we will likely be sharing it, hopefully. Hopefully we're still around and still sharing that journey with you guys, because I think that that would be really cool to take you on our next adventure too. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. You can leave us any questions or comments you have down below. We would love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos from us in the future. And if you have subscribed, you can click that little bell down below. It'll let you know whenever we upload a video, which is on Mondays and Thursdays. We'll see you guys in our next one. Bye.
Bye.